moment you first see the new 2025 Harley-Davidson Iron 883, you know it isn't just a motorcycle, it's a statement. This fresh iteration of a true icon keeps the unmistakable silhouette and draw, stripped down spirit alive, while subtly refining the details that matter most to today's riders. Let's start by walking around the bike and soaking in the side profile, which might be the most recognizable angle for Iron 883 fans. The low-slung frame, mid-mounted controls and tight, muscular stance remain at the heart of this design. The classic peanut tank still perches elegantly on top of the V-twin engine, now adorned with discreet brushed metal accents that add depth without shouting for attention. There's a new range of finishes this year, from a dark denim matte to a deep metallic black and a richer gunmetal gray, each giving the Iron 883 a different vibe depending on your taste. The bike feels both retro and current, blending its heritage with small contemporary touches like slimmer LED turn signals and a cleaner wiring layout. As we move around to the back, it's clear that Harley-Davidson wanted to keep the rear as compact and purposeful as possible. The short fender hugs the rear tire closely, giving that classic bobber feel. The round, smoked taillight sits low, just above the license plate holder, adding to the stripped-back style. The side-mounted rear shocks, finished in black with subtle silver springs, reinforce the bike's tough attitude, while also subtly hinting at the improvements Harley has made to comfort and handling this year. The seat is a low-profile solo design that's been slightly reshaped to provide better lumbar support, making longer rides less fatiguing without sacrificing the bike's aggressive stance. From the back, the wide rear tire looks especially mean, and it pairs well with the narrow, almost minimal rear frame to emphasize the bike's old-school custom look. When you take a closer look at what you could call the interior details, that is, everything you interact with as a rider, there's a quiet evolution happening. The single round instrument cluster is still mounted on the handlebar, keeping things classic, but it now features a more modern LCD panel within the analog speedometer. It gives you gear position, fuel level, range, and even a simple trip computer. It's subtle enough not to spoil the bike's vintage charm, yet practical enough for daily riding. The handlebars remain low and slightly pulled back, giving you a natural, slightly hunched riding posture that feels assertive but manageable. The switch gear has been refined this year to feel more solid under your thumbs, with crisper clicks and slightly better tactile feedback. The grips themselves are a bit thicker, which should be a welcome touch on longer rides. The seat deserves a second mention because it truly makes a difference this year. It's made from a new, more durable material with slightly denser foam padding, which you really notice after an hour on the road. Combined with subtly retuned rear shocks and improved fork damping up front, the Iron 883 feels a little more forgiving over potholes and rough pavement, without losing that classic Harley feedback that connects you to the road. Foot pegs are mid-mounted, keeping your legs tucked in rather than stretched out, which makes the bike feel nimble and ready to lean into corners. Now, let's talk performance, because even though the Iron 883 isn't about raw horsepower, it's about character. The tried-and-true 883cc Evolution V-twin carries over, but there are a few refinements in fuel injection mapping and engine cooling. These don't dramatically increase the power, but they do make the throttle response a bit smoother and more predictable, especially around town where you're constantly on and off the throttle. It's still an air-cooled engine, which keeps the retro soul alive, and it still produces that deep, pulsing exhaust note that makes you grin every time you twist the grip. Power remains modest, around 50 horsepower, but the torque, about 54 pound-feet, comes in low in the rev range, giving you that satisfying pull when you launch off the line or roll on in traffic. Harley has also worked on refining their 5-speed gearbox. It still feels mechanical, with a solid thunk into each gear, but clutch pull is slightly lighter this year, and shifts feel more positive. This makes riding in stop-and-go traffic a bit less tiring, which is always welcome. Brakes remain single-disc front and rear, but with updated calipers and slightly larger discs, giving a bit more stopping confidence without overwhelming the rider. In terms of handling, the Iron 883 keeps its low center of gravity and relatively short wheelbase, which together give it a planted, balanced feel at city speeds and enough stability for relaxed cruising on back roads. The suspension upgrades help take the edge off, and combined with the improved seat and ergonomics, the 2025 model feels subtly more refined without losing the raw charm that defines this bike. As for pricing, the 2025 Harley-Davidson Iron 883 starts around $11,999 in the US, with prices varying slightly depending on color and optional accessories. While it's not the cheapest entry into the Harley lineup, it remains an accessible gateway to the brand's iconic styling and sound. And speaking of options, Harley offers plenty of customization possibilities right from the dealership. Different seats, mirrors, grips, slip-on exhausts, and even paint packages, so you can really make the bike your own. Owning an Iron 883 has always been about more than just the numbers. It's about the feel, the look, and the connection to a heritage that dates back decades. The 2025 model keeps that spirit alive while adding just enough refinement to make it a better daily companion. You can ride it to work, take it on weekend backroad cruises, or park it outside your favorite coffee shop and just enjoy looking at it, and you won't be alone, because this bike still turns heads wherever it goes. In closing, the new 2025 Harley-Davidson Iron 883 is still very much the bike it's always been: raw, minimalist, and unmistakably Harley. But with small improvements to comfort, technology, and braking, it becomes a bit more usable for daily riders without sacrificing what makes it special. Whether you're a first-time Harley buyer looking for a way into the brand, or a seasoned rider drawn to the timeless bobber style, the Iron 883 continues to deliver a uniquely American experience. It might not be the fastest or the most high-tech motorcycle out there, but it does exactly what it promises. It makes every ride feel like an event. And that, in the end, is what riding a Harley is all about.